Hey y'all, Josh here today, aka the world's greatest dad, and what you're looking at here is the Maxpart 1000-watt inverter. Now I've actually had this thing for the past several months, had a good chance to play around with it, and I gotta say, it's a pretty handy tool. So today we're gonna go ahead and break this thing down, tell you everything you need to know about it, see if it might be the right inverter for you as well. So with that being said, let's get it. So first off, let's go ahead and take a look at everything you're gonna get. Of course, we've got our unit itself right here. A couple of alligator clamps, your cigarette lighter port, some extra fuses, and our user manual. Now the unit itself is fairly compact, going to be about 7.5 inches long, 4 inches wide, and just about 2.5 inches thick. Now overall, this thing is comprised of a die-cast aluminum, looks very sharp and pretty well built. Now it's got several different ports here, including 2 USBs, 2 110s, to 12 volts, and then over on this side is where you're going to connect your alligator clamps or your cigarette lighter port. We've got our fuses and we've got our fan. So next off, let's go ahead and get our alligator clamps connected. Now these things are going to be just about 2 feet long, and all we're simply going to do is unscrew our red positive here, put that right over there, and screw this thing back on. So as you can see, quick to put on and take off. Now next up, I want to take a little closer look at this user manual because I found this thing very helpful when I first picked this product up. A couple things I'll point out is number one, they've got step-by-step instructions when you're connecting to a battery, step-by-step instructions when you're connecting to a cigarette lighter. But another part I really liked down here was this inverter knowledge section. And this gives you kind of some example loads of different appliances that you might power with this thing, so you can make sure that you're safely within the range of what your battery is and what your inverter is as well. So that's enough just looking at this thing. Let's go ahead and get it set up and power some devices. Now first up, we're going to go ahead and use our alligator clamps, and we're going to be connecting to a 12.8 volt LiFePO battery. Now, although the unit is currently in the off position, the LED screen will light up and it is going to show you the initial input voltage. As you can see, we're at 13.1 right there. Let's go ahead and power this thing on and let's get something connected. First off, let's go ahead and just use one of our USB ports to go ahead and charge this iPad right here. Power came on and we're charging. And we'll go ahead and leave our iPad plugged in, but let's go ahead and add our laptop computer to the mix right here using our 110 volt. Now, as you can see, we are getting a charge on our laptop, and if we go back to the unit itself, you will see the LED display has now transformed and is showing you the USB output current A. Now, besides powering laptops, phones, and iPads, the reason I actually picked this inverter up was to set up a little lighting system at a rental project I've been working at. Now, we recently gutted out all the electricity in the thing, so we have no power. But using this inverter and some of these LiFePO batteries, I'm able to set up a couple work lights and we can keep working even when it's dark out. Now, a couple things you should know about this. Number one, even though it says it's rated at 1,000 watts, that's going to be your max peak power for little short bursts. For continuous power, it's actually rated at 750 watts when connected to a battery. So whatever you're powering, make sure you stay 750 watts or below. And now that we've seen this thing work with these alligator clamps and some LiFePO batteries, let's go ahead and hook up the cigarette lighter attachment and show you another way I use it. Now, to use our cigarette lighter attachment, we're basically going to do the same thing, red to red, black to black, and we'll be good to go. Now the cigarette lighter cord itself is going to be about 3 feet long. Go ahead and get it plugged in. And we haven't turned the unit on yet, but you do see that we do have some power there. Now basically what I like to use this thing for is charging batteries. What I have here is just a Chapin 24 volt battery that powers a backpack sprayer that I've been using. And so when I'm traveling around or whatever, I can go ahead and plug this thing in, get it on the charger, and I don't have to be connected into a wall outlet. So we'll go ahead and turn our unit on. Plug in our charger, and as you can see, we have power right here. Let's go ahead and plug in our battery to charge. Light went red, which means the battery is now charging. So one other thing to reference when you are using the cigarette lighter attachment, you're going to have a continuous power of 110 watts with a max power of 120 watts. So obviously when using the cigarette lighter attachment, you can't power the same things you can when connected to a battery. Now before we close this out, there's a couple other things you should know. Number one, you're looking at the 1000 watt inverter right here, but the company also offers a 300, a 500, and a 2000. Now on top of that, I've owned this thing about 6 months, but it is good to know that the company does provide a 12-month warranty. So if you got any issues within that first year, they're gonna go ahead and take care of you. So there you go. That's pretty much everything you need to know about the Maxpart 1000 watt inverter. Now at the end of the day, this thing's built like a tank and it's handled every project that I've thrown at it so far. It's for those reasons and more, I easily give this thing a world's greatest dad thumbs up and I say, go out and get you one.